And we're live.
Shit.
Did you like that?
Smooth.
Smooth
Real
move.
About as smooth as those protesters.
I don't have one problem with protesters, but it's like, man.
Well, I shouldn't. I shouldn't
you guys
even.
doing?
That's my bad. I shouldn't say protesters. Protesting is fine. Those rioters.
Well, the thing is, though, like, what? How did they get in there? How did they get in? I haven't seen much on it. How did they get into the Capitol building? Did they? I heard someone say they broke a window. Is that true?
Yeah, I saw them break the window, which was insane. But they'd already gotten over into the balcony and all that, and they climbed. A lot of them were climbing up the scaffolding that's there for the inauguration.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So kind of like how they broke. Well, not these same people, but kind of how those people broke the gate to that gated community, and then they weren't charged.
Yep.
And that wasn't considered rioting. That was considered protesting.
Just saying. Remains to be
Just
seen.
saying. Apples and oranges.
Yep.
But doesn't make any of it right.
No, not at all.
Crunch. Hear that? Beautiful crispness.
Brought to you by the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Cola.
We're not affiliated. We wish, though.
It's an unofficial sponsor. Yes, Pepsi, please throw some our way.
Yeah, we'll take free Pepsi.
Yeah, you don't even have to pay us. Actually, I don't know. Can Coke call us?
Oh, shit. I forgot. You're a Coke man. Every time I text you, and I'm telling you to, like, come in when you're here, it auto-corrects me every time to Coke.
It always autocorrects when I say come here or when are you coming. Well, not coming. It's always C-O-M-E. It always C-O-K-E.
Oh, I'm coking. I'm coking. Oh, so how about those rioters?
Man. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding it right now.
I don't understand, like, what are...
Constitution.
Oh, there's the old auto shutdown every time.
Every time.
Every single time. I don't know, what was their plan? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, I mean, I don't... They said they were trying to stop the count, I guess.
I'm because there's a deadline.
It happened. They stopped.
Well, yeah, but they reconvened. They're still,
did they?
Yeah.
I thought they said they weren't.
No, I was in the gym and it showed they were
okay.
back in there. They were finishing up their debates.
Okay.
But it's like just count it. It's done. It's been done.
Oh, and did you see Trump is already going in after Pence already, saying he was a coward for not. And I'm like, he had nothing to do. Like, there was no getting around that. Like,
no, I mean, what exactly did
Pence even said? He said we went around and we didn't run around. We looked at the Constitution and checked everything out, and he said there was nothing.
There's nothing
in my power that I could do.
If you can't prove that there was legitimate voter fraud, and whether there was or wasn't is irrelevant, they can't prove it.
Yep.
If you can't prove it, then it's done. And frankly, what they did today, I don't know how the Republican Party can recover.
See, I couldn't find any videos showing what they were doing. I only only heard and read articles. I couldn't find a video. Like, as soon as you told me that, I was looking. I couldn't find a video.
Yeah, I was watching it live on CNN for the most part, and then when I left work, I changed over to NPR, and they were doing live coverage.
Hopefully CNN doesn't pull an ABC and they pull some some video feed from somewhere else in another time and place and be like, yeah, that was the Capitol building.
Well, what's funny is it looked like there were more people there than there were for Trump's inauguration. It
really
did.
There was a bunch.
Yeah. I think at one point they said there were like 10,000 people there. I might be wrong. I feel like that's what I heard, but I could be wrong.
Who knows?
It looked like it. It looked like quite a few. Not just at the Capitol, like on the lawn, too.
Right.
Where they were supposed to be.
Fucking insane.
Well, and the one thing that really kind of pissed me off is, like, and if anybody was watching live, you'll know what I'm talking about, when it showed them smashing the windows in. And then there were two little wannabe militia fucks wearing, like, military gear, but how do I put this delicately? Like, you can tell they're not actual military, first of all, because they're there. But, like, and this is probably coincidental because for some reason I've come across a lot of, like, stolen valor call-out videos on YouTube. And like, what the? Why? Why would you? And I came across one. It was hilarious. It was a former Marine, and he was commenting on it because I guess he was commenting on some of these stolen valor videos, and one of the guys, when he got called out, was like, "Well, I'm not active military, but I am in the like whatever." I think he said Michigan militia or whatever. And then he paused and he was like, "Okay." He's like, "A lot of these guys that are in the militia groups like just want to be tough, but they weren't tough enough to cut it in the actual military."
I've never understood that either.
Well, I understand it, but
I understand they want it, but I'm
saying, I don't understand
like,
why you would do it.
Why?
Well, because a lot of unfortunately, it seems based on what I've seen in these videos is a lot of people get away with it. I guess a big scam is they'll stand out there and they'll be collecting money for veterans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Discounts too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think there was one where a guy got called out at Subway, I think.
I think I saw something like. Well, I've seen a bunch of them, and they ream them.
Oh yeah, rightfully so.
But
you should like. If you didn't do it, you don't get to reap the benefits.
So what all else do you? Because obviously you were able to see all this. I was dealing with kids all day.
Well, they showed a lot of loop footage. I think most of it. I think the
looting.
Looped.
Oh,
looped footage.
Okay, I was gonna be like, all right, dude. Looting?
Yeah, no,
seriously?
Were
they taking staplers?
Well, there were some people. One guy actually broke into Nancy Pelosi's office and wrote on a file folder, "We will not back down," and left it on her desk. And then the idiot, the moron.
Did he sign it?
No, he posted a picture of himself. No mask, no nothing, just like the idiot who broke the window.
I don't care about the
mask.
Like,
he breaks through the window, turns and looks at the camera, and then keeps going. It's like, you moron. And second of all, there's closed circuit cameras everywhere.
Like defacing government property.
Well, yeah, it's not even defacing; it's destroying, and technically, it's trespassing. And I don't think it would be. I don't know if this is legally accurate, but I don't think it would be a stretch to call it an act of terrorism.
Right.
Because they were literally. It looked like their intent was to. Stop the democratic process.
Kind of like an act of terrorism, destroying a police
embassy.
department.
Oh yeah.
Like I thought, was it Antifa in Portland?
Well, for a while there, they were trying to get Antifa classified as a terrorist organization. They were pushing for it. Some people were. The problem with Antifa is they don't have a centralized structure.
Yeah.
So they're similar to ISIS in that respect. I'm not calling Antifa ISIS, although.
I mean, you guys aren't helping yourselves. Just saying. If you got a cause, stick to it. But the thing is, if you're anti-fascist and you shut down free speech,
that makes you a fascist.
Just use your brain, guys. And then, basically, anti-fascists, they don't want, what is it? Like hive mind? Like, oh, what the government says is what you do and this and that.
That's exactly what they want.
That's exactly, yeah, but the thing, and that's the thing is what they're doing.
They just want it to be their government.
Yeah, it's, what are the, I think it was Dan Crenshaw maybe, do as I say, not as I do. He's been saying that about the Democrats with their lockdowns. No, it wasn't him. Someone else.
Well, that's what Pelosi got called out for.
I mean, Pelosi, Whitmer.
Well, yeah, but hers was the big one because
she's. I keep hearing they filed articles of impeachment on her, and I'm like, and I haven't heard anything else yet. And I'm like, do you guys not? Have you not learned from like the shit with Donald Trump? It's like, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. In this day and age, it's impossible to do anything like that. If you're gonna do it the right way. I would say, legal votes. We don't know exactly, what's right and what's wrong. So, voter fraud or no voter fraud, it's really, we'll never know.
Well, it's irrelevant at this point because
irrelevant, but we'll never know.
What is it? They're 0 for 60. Like as far as like suits and court cases and tries.
Fuck no, they didn't even have that many lawsuits. They had a bunch of different hearings, but the lawsuits.
Right, I think they're
had
0 for 60 though.
They fucking have lost every one because the thing is they're not fighting on. I mean they're not fighting on.
We had somebody that was having trouble getting into the stream. So
they're just not. Not all Republicans are standing up for themselves.
But not enough. Not enough of them. And I will be honest. I almost lost a lot of respect for Dan Crenshaw because I was checking. He was the first one I checked to see if he was condemning it, And then he actually had one of my favorite responses of the whole thing.
To the riots?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you say?
This bullshit needs to stop now. And I'm like, all right. And I want to give a shout out to Dan Crenshaw for using big boy words. You know what? I've always said I would respect the hell out of a politician that would swear when appropriate.
Oh, big boy words. Oh, okay. All right. What'd he say?
This bullshit needs to stop.
All right.
And I'm like, right on.
I wouldn't count Trump as a politician, but you know.
Oh, he's a politician now.
Yeah,
And then it just wouldn't be our show if I didn't throw the historical fact in there. And they pointed this out on CNN, and I checked it. It's true. This is the first time since 1814 that the Capitol building has been broken into in that way. During the War of 1812, when the British took Washington, D.C.
Holy shit. The British are coming.
No, we ain't no Britners.
Britners? Oh, jeez.
My grandpappy was from England, but I ain't no Britner.
Yeah, absolute amazing time to have a podcast right now, especially about this topic.
What?
Buddy, see, he said...
I can't read that.
He said a great time to have a podcast.
Oh, we were literally going to talk about China tonight.
Yeah.
And then I texted him after that. I was like, are you seeing this? Well, it looks like China's going to have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some catching up on YouTube to do. We've been gone for a little bit.
Yeah, but we're back. You're never going to be completely rid of us.
No. We're like herpes. You can only suppress us with medication. But you're always welcome to have a drink with us.
But please spread us like crazy. Not herpes,
that sounds
us.
Bad.
No, the
Spread.
channel. The channel.
I got you.
I want it to be
yes,
spread.
Spread us like herpes.
That's going to be a shirt.
Oh my gosh. Spread us like herpes. Average intelligence.
Just have a picture of a monkey with his leg up in the air.
Oh my gosh. No, a cat. Well, I mean, yeah, a monkey, but that'd be perfect like for a cat. You know how they lift their leg up?
Yeah. Actually, my cat does that. I call it the sexy leg because they'll do that, but then they
They
lower
just
it.
stare at you.
Well, I call it the sexy leg when like he's doing his business, and then he lowers his leg, but he doesn't curl it back up, and it's just kind of out there.
That's almost... I've never seen my cats do that. Like,
it's rare. My three-legged cat used to do it all the time. That's why I called it the sexy leg, because he would do it all the time.
was Cisco three-legged, or did you just have a bum leg?
He just had a bum leg.
Okay. That's what I thought.
When he ran, he looked like he was mentally challenged.
It was awesome, though. He was cool.
Oh,
dog.
I know. That dog was the best dog I've ever had.
Dude, all right, so let's stay on this.
Right.
No worries. But so
we meander.
Yeah. So what the hell? What do you think's going to happen? Predictions. I'm talking not like with the count. Obviously, the count's going to continue.
Count's going to go through.
Count's going to continue. Obviously, they're probably going to certify it for Joe Biden. There's nothing you can do. But what I've been hearing a lot of I've been listening to a lot of Tim Pool.
Yeah.
And he's not conservative. I would consider him more libertarian. But the thing is, he leans left, just not hard left. But he was talking about not Joe Biden. I'm sorry, Mike Pence had two envelopes that he could choose from. And I'm like, I didn't understand that. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
No, I don't know what he's talking about there.
Like I said, I'm botching it horribly right now.
Well, there's a lot of which is why I brought this. There's a lot of talk about the 25th Amendment, and basically what they were trying to get Pence to do is to basically say that Donald Trump was unable to fulfill his oath, and then through that process, Mike Pence would have been president pro tempore until Joe Biden could be inaugurated, which frankly I kind of wish Pence had done, but there's a good chance that he would have been shot at if he was at the Capitol building, not gonna lie.
The only problem with Pence is he's very right, like very, very hardcore right.
Well, yeah, but he can't really
with his views and whatnot.
He wouldn't be able to do all that much in the meantime.
But the thing is, though, it's like, if something would happen to Trump.
But here's the reason why I say that. I think he should have done it for the sake of the Republican Party, because this right here did so much damage to them. Like
the Republican Party?
Yeah, they're going to be paying for this for the next 20 years at least.
You got to. This is kind of to do with this, but the whole $2,000 stimulus checks, McConnell doing that.
Yep.
he fucking passed up free votes. If you know, I'm telling you right now, because the thing is, you have a lot of Republicans on board with that. I don't think it's a good idea, because the thing is, that's just more money they're
Well, I
printing
was
up to
going to
hand
say,
out.
there's a lot of Republicans that don't think it's a good idea, too. So from a Republican standpoint, I don't know that you'd get that many more votes.
Well, I don't know how to...
Well, and at that point, that's secondary.
Well, and the thing, what I mean is, like, you know, maybe you might have a Democrat that's on the teeter-totter, and, you know, and then to be swayed to go to his side.
You
Comes with the dog
You and I
side.
both know that most people on the left are not going to leave the left, even if they're
I wouldn't
not
even necessarily the left, though.
even
Some
if
are
they're-
central
well,
when they vote Democrat.
Yeah, but I think that's a pretty small number of people. I mean, it's there. It's enough to tip the scale. But what happened today was you saw, and to be fair, I'm going to sling some shit CNN's way, because Wolf,
I haven't got to see it. I haven't got to watch any of this shit.
well,
man. I'm
Wolf
behind.
fucking Blitzer, who I already don't like. First of all, his name's fucking Wolf. Really?
He's the Wolf of CNN. Not as cool as Wolf of Wall Street. Fuck.
No, not even close. He wishes.
Yeah.
He wishes he could get blown in a Ferrari.
It wasn't red. It was white,
Wait.
like Don Don
Don
Johnson.
Johnson in Miami Vice.
Man, that's such a good movie.
Anyway, Wolf Blitzer, who I already dislike. Because am I alone here? Who else just can't stand the guy who's like, this is the situation room? That's not Wolf Blitzer. That's Harry Carey. This is the situation room. That's Harry Carey or Bill Cosby, one of the two. This is the situation room.
You take the votes, you put them in the box. I ain't got it.
This is the situation room with Wolf Blitzer. Anyway,
I don't know enough about him.
well, but like, so the Situation Room is supposed to be like this really intense news segment, but Wolf Blitzer's about as intimidating as a kitten.
I love kittens.
I know,
But
but
you
they're
don't
not
like this guy.
intimidating at all. Even when they try to be intimidating, you're like, oh, look at you trying to be all tough. And then you just pick it up by the scruff of the neck, and you're like,
Nothing like Fluffy.
nothing
Destroyer
like.
of Worlds. Remember that bitch? Well, that wasn't a bitch. That was the coolest cat for like 15 years.
Destroyer of Worlds.
Anyway, so continue. What else?
So Wolf Blitzers, they're all talking about, and they're all slinging shit at the Republicans, which I called, but Wolf Blitzer actually said something that I think is unforgivable for a newscaster. So he's talking about it, and he's talking about the protesters, and he's talking about how, like, they're not going to be doing anything, they can't stop, but they're probably too stupid to realize it. And I'm like, oh, Wolf.
It's like, are you a news reporter or are you an activist?
Well, there's three problems with him saying that on live television. One, he just pointed out, he just broadcast his bias, which we all know it was there, but now it's undeniable. Two, that kind of talk is how we got Donald Trump in the first place. Because, and Jordan Peterson has a wonderful piece about this. It just wouldn't be. You can search it. It's his lecture on IQ. But you can't dismiss half of the country as morons, because if you do, you end up with Donald Trump in the White House, and it's not because they're stupid.
Yeah, Hillary did that, and look what happened to her.
Exactly. You can't. That is exactly how you get a Donald Trump in the White House, because you call a group of people morons and stupid and unnecessary and not worth your time long enough, and then somebody comes along and says, "Hey, I don't think you're stupid. I think they're stupid for forgetting that you exist," and you wonder why people jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, don't alienate an entire group.
Exactly.
I mean, I know this is kind of relevant, but it was actually more 2016. But when Eminem did that, do you remember that, where he drew the line in the sand between Trump supporters and whatnot? And he's like, I don't care, and then he lost like so many people.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then he retracted on his next album, and he didn't really retract it. He still says what he says, but the thing is, he was just like, I don't really have a problem with Trump. I mean, actually, I don't know, but he said he has more problem with the media, because the media had a fucking heyday with him.
Yeah.
And they ran him through the ringer, and that's what his first song on that on the Kamikaze album was called, "The Ringer," and that's what he talked about, was the media doing their thing. And it's like,
Well, and then look what happened to Kanye.
oh my gosh, that was.
Like, I never thought I'd be on the same page as Kanye.
I don't even know if he's on a page. Like, what do you agree with him? I don't know anything.
Well, I don't
The only thing I
necessarily-
listened to was the Joe Rogan thing, and I made it. Like,
I couldn't finish it.
I got like 45 minutes into it, and I was like, "What the hell's he even talking about?"
I didn't even get 45. I got about 10.
Ugh.
I just couldn't follow it. I don't necessarily agree with him, but it's like
I don't hate the guy. I like him.
I don't hate him. I'm indifferent. Like I don't get him, but I'm not hating. But I didn't so much agree with him.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish now.
Solid. That was a solid Kanye joke. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with them, but I think it was a nice case study, because I think he didn't even say he came out and said he supported the president, but he wasn't so like yay Trump. He was just like, I dig what he's saying, and I think people should think for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That was all he said. And holy shit, I think he got called an Uncle Tom. No, not an Uncle Tom.
He got called everything.
No, I think he did get called an Uncle Tom.
Yeah,
I don't
and
remember.
that's the thing. If anyone supported him, Trump, they got called names, and it's like, are you not allowed to think for yourself?
No, you're not.
I don't care who you like. You could like Joe Biden for all I care. I might call you silly, but
well, I think I would have a lot more support, a lot more respect for a lot of Biden supporters if they could actually argue the issues.
On top of that, like, I may not like Biden, but he's gonna have a cabinet, and he doesn't necessarily make decisions 100% solely on his own. I mean, granted, a lot of it might come from him, but he's gonna have people like going, "Hey, Joe."
Well, I think
take your
this
fiber.
This might be the good thing. I think you're right. I don't think Joe Biden is going to be making a lot of decisions. Joe Biden is very much a puppet president for the establishment, which honestly is a good thing, if you ask me. Well, because the liberals are gonna the people on the far left and the super liberals are gonna hate it because they're expecting all these like left-wing reforms, and they've got and here's how I know they're not going to do it, because they have the perfect setup for it, and they're going to fuck it up.
Joe Biden. Speaking of Joe Biden, this video today is brought to you by Equate Daily Fiber. Joe Biden recommends you take 6 to 18 capsules a day, and you will be regular, and you will have no problem shitting your pants.
That's like, why I wear adult diapers.
Jerry Nadler did not take these, and he shit his pants during a Congress meeting. So take your fiber, kids.
Don't those make you shit?
Well, this is Facilium Husk. This bulks, and you don't necessarily shit your pants. It comes out formed.
What kind of form?
Poop form. I'm lactose intolerant, so I have to like take all kinds of stupid shit if I want to like be able to eat and drink milk. I have to take like
Do you often
loperamide?
Do you often eat milk?
Well, I never eat milk. I eat forms of milk, dairy, cheddar, But anyway, so yeah, it sucks. I wouldn't recommend being lactose
I wouldn't
intolerant.
recommend being lactose intolerant.
Which,
you know what else sucks? Celiac disease. Why would you do that?
Oh, what is that?
It's when you have
I know a little bit about it.
Your gluten allergy, like the legit gluten allergy.
Yeah, not like the people. I think I'm intolerant to gluten.
Well, I think, not to get off topic, I think
a lot of people are.
I think there's been a false equivalency on the inflammatory properties of eating bread versus an actual intolerance to gluten.
Yeah, because I mean, just gonna point this out there, but Subway's the only freaking place that tells you to eat a whole damn loaf of bread for dinner. When back in the day you were, I'm gonna say Jesus' time or whoever's time.
Jerry's time.
Oh,
Jared, not Jerry.
Jesus and Jerry. It's like Ben and Jerry's.
Jesus and Jerry. That sounds like
Holy
a
ice
terrible
cream.
sitcom.
But no, they they had like a little bit of bread and then ate their other food. It sounds extremely stupid right now, but anyway. So my point, I did not take a gummy. My brain's fried. I've been dealing with crazy kids. Like I don't get why we do eat a lot of bread.
Oh yeah, we eat a ton. Bread and corn. It's in everything.
Corn. Soy too. Soy's
corn,
really bad for you.
I mean, corn's in everything. Soy's especially bad for men.
Men and
well, no, because apparently I just learned this. If you ingest a lot of soy in your everyday diet, it can actually boost your estrogen in men.
Oh, give you titties.
Well, no, what it does is it makes you see when your estrogen levels go up, your testosterone automatically goes down.
That's why many people are soy boys. No, they're
Well,
a
that's
lot
where
of
the
people
term
are
I didn't know this. That's
soy
where the
boy.
term soy boy comes from.
Yeah, and a lot of you saw that on Joe Rogan, didn't you?
Which one?
I don't even freaking know. I've watched so many. I remember them talking about soy boy, and dude was like, I always took that as an offense, and Joe just like, I can't remember if it was for or against it. I can't remember, but he was basically saying soy's not good for you. Actually, I remember now. It was the meat eater.
Yeah, the carnivore diet.
Carnivore
guy.
diet, and Joe's back on the carnivore diet again.
I thought it was there was a. I want to say it was one he did with Deborah So, but there was this hilarious bit where he's like, I forget who they were talking about, but they're basically talking about like beta guys, and one guy in particular, and he was like, I bet he's got a ball gag in right now. I was like, yes, mistress. I'm just like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
I remember the joke. I can't remember which one. Oh my gosh!
Everybody who's watching, I was like, we're supposed to be talking about the riots.
Yeah, well, we're getting back there. I was gonna say, all right, my predictions on what's gonna happen. Like, I think I understand it's a government building, but I feel like if they go after the people that did this,
Oh, they need to go after him.
well,
They have to.
Hold your horses. I feel like if they go at that, that's gonna cause issues.
I don't know
Because the
how.
thing is, man, I mean, like all these other riots elsewhere. Don't get me wrong.
Well, a lot of people
But the
got
thing is,
arrested.
though, I know, but like that's fine and dandy. I'm saying the ones who like did crazy stuff. I'm not talking like going and rounding them all up.
Oh no, I'm talking about the ones that did crazy stuff.
Exactly.
But, I mean,
Like the
they-
dude that
they
broke
into Congress.
and then I mean the dude going into Nancy Pelosi's office, which is hysterical. Just gonna say.
Well, and then there was the idiot wearing the
I can't believe that bitch won.
Then there was that idiot wearing the Viking horns.
What?
I'm not kidding. Like, I thought it was fake at first, and then I keep seeing images of this dude, and I'm like, what the hell?
You know, they said that they had people being paid for like Biden, you know, like to destroy stuff, you know, not paid by Biden, but paid for, you know, by other people and doing that stuff. And I'm like, there's no hell in any way that any of these people were paid for.
I don't know. Actually, my mom made a pretty good point. She was like, a lot of these people were probably the same paid protesters that they shipped in for the liberal ones. I'm like, you know what? There might be something to that.
And then they switch sides just because they're getting paid.
Because they're getting paid, yeah.
They don't give a shit. That's a good
Oh, and I want to do
like
a special shout out for one of those protesters, that asshole waving the Confederate battle flag. First of all, ain't the Confederate flag. Never was. It's a amalgamation of the Virginia cavalry flag, you dumb fuck. And secondly,
Get them.
you should fucking die. Like, I'm sorry. If there is an offense that is treason, it's waving the Confederate flag in the Capitol building of the United States.
I don't care because the thing is, if people are allowed to stomp on the fucking, I don't care for it. I don't give a shit. But that's my thing. It doesn't hurt me, so I don't care.
I don't mind you carrying. I mean, well, I do mind,
Like I
but
said-
like you have the right to carry it and display it, not on federal ground, not on public ground. You don't.
Right. Well, I mean, if you know, if that were to be the issue, then anyone stomping on the American flag and burning it should be charged with crime.
No, they're not the same thing.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, it represents something. I'm not saying, like I said, I don't know how to explain this because the thing is, like, I don't think it should matter.
I'm giving the guy a hard time. Like, he has the right to wave the Confederate flag around. I just think it makes you look like an ignorant.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, he's going to be the guy that everyone goes to and says, look at this fucking idiot doing this here. But the thing is, I'm just about you having that right.
Right, yeah. I don't want you to do it. I hope you don't do it.
I think you're going to get beat down.
Not there, he won't.
No,
but maybe.
and that's what I'm saying. You know, if he goes to jail or something like that, or, you know, like something happens, you know, and he goes to jail, they're going to be like, you're that motherfucker. And they're going to beat his ass.
There was another flag that I couldn't place it. I'm not saying it was a neo-Nazi flag. I need to do more research. But what it was, it looked like I've seen.
Oh, that would just be fucking perfect. You know, and then
Yeah.
everyone would label anyone who supported Trump as a fucking Nazi.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I want to know, because I'm like, oh, here we go. But what it was most so. There, I've seen a variant of the swastika flag where it's like it's not like an even square; it's off to one side where the cross section is. But this one was brown and it didn't have swastikas; it had some other symbol, but it had this similar profile. And I want to say it was K's, but I don't know. I don't know what flag that was. I hope to God it wasn't a neo-Nazi flag.
Just saying.
Because if it was, but it's like most things dealing with Trump. There's a few assholes that ruin it for everybody.
Dude, how did Trump get most admired?
Trump's one of those assholes.
How did he get most admired? Did you see that?
Wait, most admired what?
I don't know what the. Let me reference it real quick. But he won most admired person or something like that, and it kind of cracks me up. I'm like, how? Like, apparently everyone hates him, and I'm like,
I don't know about admired. I wouldn't go that far. Mired, maybe, but not admired.
All right.
While you're looking at that, I'll finish the point I was making earlier. They need to go after those people. They have to, out of principle, because if they don't, they're basically saying it's okay to smash windows into the Capitol.
Well, and that's the thing. I would like to see... I agree. Okay, yes.
I mean, they
100% they should go after them. But the thing is, at the end of the day, after it happens and they're charged with whatever they're charged with, they need to go back in comparison. And I don't care if it's a Capitol building. I don't care if it's a resident building. I don't care if it's a business, a commercial building. Any destruction of any property, I don't care who owns it, you should be charged. And just like those idiots, I keep coming up with Portland. It's been happening all
over.
Seattle, Portland, all those places. Anyone doing any damage to any structures, same charge. I don't care if it's a government building, because the thing is,
they're gonna get worse penalty though, because this is federal.
I know, and I kind of think that's I mean, it's not shitty.
It's very shitty.
You shouldn't do it to anywhere.
But
it should be the same charge anywhere, because I'm sorry,
but it's
not
not going to be though.
I know, but no one should be held above anyone else. Everyone should be treated equally.
I agree, but you should get the book thrown at you if you break into the Capitol building.
I agree.
Well, and not only that, so there's the legal part, and then there's just for a group of people that claim to love the Constitution and claim to love the United States, they sure have a funny way of showing it by blatantly ignoring the Constitution. It's all laid out. The process is laid out. It's right in here.
I know.
And then going into the chambers of Congress, and I saw these dumb fucks rifling through papers that may or may
like
not
they know what the fuck they're looking at.
Well, may or may not. And one asshole, I saw him taking pictures of documents with his iPhone.
Yeah, for one, I'm pretty sure some of that's probably confidential, and
I was gonna say it may or may not be. Granted, what's on the floor now is probably election related, but still. And I guess some staffers who deserve a lot of praise for this. I guess before the rioters got into the chambers, they took the ballots out.
Yeah, and good for them, because the thing is, they probably saw those fucking idiots at the door. Acting like. I saw one video and it was just one side of the door, and it was just like 4 or 5 cops just outside the door, just trying to calm everybody down. And
there's a still image where I guess some of the, I don't know if it had been shot through or just broken, but some of the glass in the door had been broken, and there's like 4 cops with guns trained on it. And I saw that image, and I'm like, you watch. I'm gonna have to check this in 10 years when they make new history textbooks. That image is gonna be in there.
I'm just telling you though, like, this is where I get kind of like in a gray area about all this stuff, because like the people I keep going back to other riots, but they were shooting them with rubber bullets, and people were fucking bitching and complaining about that, and somebody was actually shot with a real gun.
I don't know,
and we don't know anything about it. Yeah, I know. That's why I want to know. Like, there's no information on it yet. And if anyone has any information, please.
I'm shocked at the level of restraint, and I think it was because they just didn't have the numbers. But some of this, and I'm glad CNN showed it. Some of this, a lot of it looked like it was fairly, I don't want to say peaceful, but fairly non-confrontational.
Yeah.
But then there were other areas where you literally have rioters that are trying to kick the guardrails down. And it was actually, it's not funny, but it was kind of funny.
You know what? I hate to say it like this, but they could have saved themselves a lot of issue and they shouldn't have to do this. I'm just saying this. But you've got that many people, should have just be like, hey, guys, you got 15 minutes. Pick up the shit in here. Get it the fuck out of here. Open the doors. Just let them in. What are they going to do?
Ransack the place?
So what? I mean,
it's
a lot safer for everyone else, and get them in and out.
The problem with that is, again, you set a precedent. Because if you let them in, you say, okay, well, if enough people storm the Capitol building, we just let them in.
Which, I mean,
And then
it goes back to other parts of the country. I keep bringing this shit up because I want people to just like be like, look, it's not okay anywhere.
Well, right, I agree.
And the thing is that
okay
people
anywhere.
are letting it happen in other places. So it's like, if anyone wants to say stuff like that, I'm like, listen, it's a different, but it's happening here and it's happening there. It's like, get your shit together, guys. You're letting this happen. If you want to talk law and order,
but you're getting into state sovereignty now, which was the problem because. When that was going down, there were several instances where Trump offered to send in the U.S. Marshals.
And they turned it down.
And they have state sovereignty.
Listen, I don't think that...
It was stupid, but they have state sovereignty.
I don't think the president or anyone should reside over complete control over a certain state. Right. But the thing is, if shit like that goes on for more than so long... I'm sorry, there should be something for someone to enact to be like, listen, get this taken care of.
Arguably, that's what the National Guard is for.
I know, but it's like, why?
Because the governor didn't call them in.
And see, and the government,
and that governor should be
right
fired.
there, fired. They should be jailed because the thing is, they're putting citizens at risk. And if you're a public official and you're putting citizens at risk,
that's priority number one.
Exactly, public safety.
That's priority number one.
It's funny. Who was I can't remember the news tidbit I was watching, but this guy was talking and he was like, so I mean, who's this one guy was like, so who's gonna or who gonna? It was about gun control. Jeez, let me get my shit together. It was about gun control. And anyway, so he's just like, oh well, I mean, it's up to us to protect you. And like the other person like talking to him like laughed and he's like, okay. He's like, so you're telling me if I live out in the country 30 minutes and it takes 30 minutes for someone to get there, you're gonna protect me and I'm gonna be dead.
Well, but do you know what the likelihood of a home invasion is if you live out in the country?
Listen, I'm not condoning anyone to go out there and go and rob people's houses. That live 30 miles out.
Have you seen The Purge?
But I'm just saying, they probably have shotguns. Don't do it.
Yeah, probably.
Or
actually, I'm not gonna out him, but I saw a buddy of mine got. I didn't even know this thing existed. He had a semi-automatic shotgun for Christmas. I didn't even know such a thing existed. And he's explaining
in Call of Duty, there's a couple of shotguns.
I know, but like it's basically a shotgun that's got an AR body.
That's
and it's
insane.
He's got a drum.
That's awesome.
He's got a 30-round drum for a shotgun.
Pop, pop, pop,
pop, pop, pop, pop. Yeah.
Holy
Semi-auto,
shit.
And I'm just like, that seems a bit excessive. He's like, yeah, I know.
Pellet?
Huh?
I don't know.
Depends on what he can put pretty much any shell he wants.
I don't know.
It's shit. What did he tell me? I think he said it was a 12 gauge.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
Yeah.
Well, just saying, don't go to his house.
Yeah, don't go to his house uninvited. And he lives out in the country.
Shit. So
he showed me a picture of this thing. I'm like, Jesus.
So I agree with you. They should go after them.
Oh yeah,
the ones that were
they're gonna
physically
go after
seen
them.
and physically doing something.
I think if you went inside the building, you should be prosecuted.
Slippery slope with that one, man.
Well, they were told expressly you are not allowed in here.
I know. I don't know. Like, I agree, but like, the revolutionary in me says, "Eat shit."
Well, I'm not saying they should hang them. I'm just saying like they should be.
Like a little community service. The thing is, if they trash the place, they should be forced to clean it up. Repair the things, pay for it, stuff like that. And it's like, look, dude, taxpayers are gonna have to pay for you guys being fucking idiots.
We shouldn't have to front the bill for labor.
No, and it's
bad enough that they're gonna have to. And like, and this might not be quite as bad as I'm suggesting here, but like, how old was that glass? I don't know. I don't know how old it was.
Well, and was it obviously no? It wasn't bulletproof because it broke.
Yeah, it broke with a SWAT shield.
Why wouldn't they have bulletproof glass on the Capitol building? Like, you think that might be like?
No,
you don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I have never really seen the Capitol building.
I haven't seen it in person. Now I kind of want to.
Yeah. Just don't break in.
Yeah, just do not break in.
But I don't know, man. It's it's really hard to wrap my head around everything that's going on in this country and that everyone's got away with, and yet these people.
Key word there, got away with.
Yes, that's what irritates me about all this. Like, in the same breath, I think everyone doing any of this stuff should be in trouble.
Well, right, I'm there with you, but I think you should.
But
I think you should be extra hard
fair
on people breaking into the Capitol building, though. I mean, it's the seat of government. It's the highest government. It's the highest house of government in the country. And so, what I was going to say earlier is, even foregoing the legality of it all, there's, they're shitting all over this, which they claim to love, and they're shitting all over the institution that is their government that they claim to love, and there's no reverence whatsoever for those chambers of Congress. And yes, I have almost no respect for the representatives in there, but I have a ton of respect for the room because, that's where the 15th Amendment was ratified. That's where all of these things that not all of them, some were done in Philadelphia, but like the 15th Amendment for sure, that was ratified in that building, right there in those chambers.
Well,
they ended prohibition right there in those chambers, and they were like, give us booze.
Yes, I love booze. But anyway, so, I mean, with them all being in there and whatnot, everyone coming there and protesting it and doing this and that, there was nothing you could have done. Absolutely nothing. Like, you
the
going in there.
You mean?
Yeah.
What were you going to do?
All you did was prolong the inevitable.
Well, and I would like to point out that you're allowed to protest outside of the pandemic. You're allowed to protest in the chambers of Congress. There's always people up there with signs and shit, and some of them shout and scream when they're allowed to. You are allowed to protest in Congress as their...
Listen, with them protesting, I'm just going to say this because, like I said, there was nothing they could do about it.
Yeah.
Just like Mr. Miyagi said, best block, no be there.
No be there.
Yes. Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, that's kind of...
No mercy.
Different. I should have... No mercy. Honk.
Die.
Live or die, man. Die. Honk. Such good.
Oh, the dialogue in the original movies was so hokey. Live or die, man. Die.
Well, yeah, but you got to think though.
Like
he was in a different culture. Like they were.
I'm pretty sure that
tough,
people in Okinawa in the 1980s were not quite live or die after a karate match.
Well, the uncle had a freaking
Sato.
Sato. Was it Sato or Soto?
Sato.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Like I said, I just rewatched them all because I finished Cobra Kai.
I love, don't get me wrong, I love the movie, but I just love how quickly he turns a 180. Like he's held this grudge for like 30 years.
And he played it so well.
And then out of nowhere, he's just like, Miyagi, we friends again. Out of nowhere, and he's like, help him.
Oh, you're talking about Karate Kid 3.
Dude,
okay.
We don't talk about Karate
my
Kid
bad.
Part 3.
It wasn't horrible.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. I liked it because it was continuation. That's kind of like, back in the day when we had Dragon Ball Z and went to Dragon Ball GT. I liked it just because it was continuation.
Yeah, and now we look back and we're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, especially remember the dancing guys?
Yeah, thank God for Super.
Yeah. A lot of people hate on it too, and I'm like, you like GT, don't you?
If you like GT over Super, I question your intelligence. You were probably at the Trump protest.
Yeah, because you definitely are missing a chromosome.
You probably did break into the Capitol building, though. Because, again, not everyone there was rioting. There were people that were protesting. Although, there were a couple of things that I just couldn't help but laugh at. Like, at one point and I think it was when people were starting to file away from the riot, there was this one girl just walking away, just eating chips. There's fully armed cops in the vicinity. She's just like...
She's like, I got my Doritos, bitch.
No, her hubby was probably packing heat, but...
Listen.
One gun's great.
Protesting.
30 guns is useless. Like 30 other guns make it useless.
So we are all in agreement, though. Protesting is just fine. Breaking in Capitol building, bad.
You have a First Amendment right to protest.
Just should have stayed outside the building. Like
yes, they had it all blocked off. They were fine, and then people started going. See, the problem was, and I think they just got overwhelmed.
It's mob mentality, man.
Well, the problem is, and again, I think they got overwhelmed. But once they got over the barricades and they weren't stopped, that's. See,
the thing is, like, and I'm gonna kind of, I'm definitely on your side on this one. They should have threatened lethal force. I hate to say it like
Well,
that. It is Capitol building.
I think they might have.
Well,
But I think
I mean,
the problem was they were outnumbered.
someone shot, so I mean.
Again, I don't know.
hopefully we get
I
some
want to.
damn
I want to
information
find
on
out.
that.
Well, and again, I haven't had a chance to hardcore look. I've only been going by what I saw, and I was at work when this was happening, so I'm
Right.
like trying to pay attention, but also trying to work.
Yeah.
Because damn customers keep coming in, and I'm like trying to watch TV. Here.
Listen, dude. I mean,
I got a podcast to
I
do
know you
later.
want a kitchen, but listen, you son of a bitch.
Well, we had one lady come in, and she was like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah," because she'd been driving all day, so like she didn't know.
It's like, lady.
Well, no,
turn
like
on any news channel.
well,
Just
probably
not
not. I
saying
think
that.
it only been going on for about by that point. I think it had been only going on for an hour or two.
Hell, I don't know. Like, you were the first to tell me. You're like, dude, have you seen
Well,
what's
and
going on?
I
I'm
saw
like,
it
what?
I saw it by complete accident that early because my business partner is just a news junkie.
Ugh.
So it's so annoying because he has CNN on every time.
Oh,
And I'm
poor
just
guy.
like,
It's like, look, dude, if they would just, be a little unbiased, that it'd be cool,
well, and I guess that was the thing because like I was solidly anti-Trump for a little while. I was like, this is unforgivable. Like, and I'm not. The bulk of the responsibility goes to the people that chose to break into the building because Trump did not come out and say, break into the building and stop them.
He did say,
He,
get to the Capitol building and protest. The thing is,
yeah,
like,
get to the Capitol building and
anytime-
protest is not
listen.
kick down the door.
I'm sorry, but human nature. You get that many people together, feelings are flowing, everything's
Yeah.
it's
Shit goes
bad.
awry,
Yeah.
which is generally why I try not to be in anywhere where there's that many people because shit goes sideways real fast.
I don't like people anyway.
I know. I don't want to be around 20 people, much less 10,000.
I like our viewers.
Yeah, but we're not around them. They're out there
No,
doing
I
their-
could be around them. No, meet and greet,
Just doing a meet. Sign up to his OnlyFans and you can get a meet and greet. Dude, I'm serious.
Bananas.
You have to make one. You
I'm
don't even
going
have to
to.
post. You have to make one just for the
Well,
shits
the
and
thing
giggles
is,
of it.
didn't you say OnlyFans was actually created for musicians?
Originally, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
and I guess there are accounts that are just creative content and not the news.
Yeah, you have a lot of girl musicians on there.
Yeah. They play the tatas.
Oh, ta-ta.
The skin maracas,
The
if you will.
ropa-dopa. Okay.
Okay.
Okinawa.
Okinawa.
Dude. All right.
This is Tomi Village?
So,
Is it Tomi Village Green?
Pat
Morita?
Moriko.
Noriyuki Pat Morita.
Yeah, that guy. I listened to him talk normally.
Yeah, no, he just.
It threw me off. I
Yeah.
shut off the
Oh
interview.
no, he's an American.
I shut off the interview. I was like, no, I can't handle that. I was
Again,
like,
that's weird.
no, he'd talk like this, Daniel-san. And I was like, no, that's the way he talks. No, sorry. He drives
Well, you got to
a little
remember,
truck.
he was on Happy Days.
Yeah, I know.
Arnie.
I'll have to watch Happy Days. That's a good show.
I love Happy Days.
Happy Days are
The
not here.
best episode of Happy Days ever. I don't remember what season or anything, but it's when Richie and Fonzie do a panty raid at a sorority house.
Maybe.
Well, but I love this line because...
Surprised you remember that.
Well, here's why I remember it, because it has a history joke in it.
Mm.
So basically, they're about to get caught, and Richie's trying to get Fonzie to leave, and Fonzie's like, nah, I'm going to stick around. Davy Crockett stuck around at the Alamo, and so will the Fonz. And then Richie just goes, but Davy Crockett died at the Alamo, and Fonzie just, good point, let's go.
It's so funny that Henry Winkler was the Fonz, and he's so cool, and then now he's like kind of just, he's a nerdy.
Boy,
I like him, don't get me wrong. It's
I
hilarious,
love
but,
Henry Winkler.
hey, you cover Henry Winkler and bees?
Oh, and then he was hilarious in The
Sorry,
Waterboy.
Henry.
Sorry, Henry.
Oh my gosh.
He was hilarious in The Waterboy too, though.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, dude.
Well, Mama don't know.
And he was even good in
Can't
Click.
hurt her. Yeah.
I love Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler can
Winkler.
just do no wrong.
All right, back to the Capitol
Yeah,
building.
right, I know.
We're very bad about that.
That's why they watch us.
We just lost 2.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
Fuck you. Anyway, so
Was that McLovin? Fuck you.
I don't know. I don't really have much more on it. Like,
Well,
it's all just like
I just
basically,
can't get over how mad it made me because I just saw myself through the fake flash and the delay. It was hilarious.
I expected it.
I did not expect that. I expected protests. I did not expect just again, I hate to keep referencing it, but they're literally wiping their ass with this, and that's not okay.
There was only like a few times, like from my knowledge in history, where like protests actually went peaceful.
Yeah, they tend to. That's why I don't really like protests because they
No.
almost always seem, and it only takes one asshole.
A protest,
They always seem to just devolve.
no bad student, only bad teacher.
Only bad teacher.
Well, and that's the thing, man. They if they, like you're saying, if one person puts an idea in someone's head, and then everybody says it, it's like how a bunch of these old people. I see it on Facebook all the time. Well, I don't, not now, but like I saw it on Facebook all the time. Like if one person said something, oh fuck, it was true, and then you had all the oldies reposting it and stuff, I guess. And
well, and speaking of age, what I couldn't believe is my business partner made a comment. And he's
not
like,
even oldies either, too. Some young people, but anyway.
Well, but my business partner made a comment. And he's like, yeah, and look who it is. Like, what do you mean? He's like, they're all young, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you watching?
A lot of them are fucking older people.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of 6-year-olds in their 50s over there. And for the record, I'm not calling them stupid, but there's a lot of people who were there that suffer from Peter Pan syndrome, and it's pretty obvious. Like, they need to grow the fuck up.
Oh, I wasn't sure where you're going with that. I've never heard that Peter Pan syndrome.
It's another Jordan Peterson.
That's great.
It's a fascinating lecture. I highly recommend it.
What the hell do you mean, Peter Pan peanut butter alert? What was that? Tourette's guy. It's like, he's in the store. You remember Tourette's guy, right?
Vaguely.
Oh my god, dude.
That's
Tourette's
old.
It's old as shit. 2003.
Some of our viewers might not have even been alive, hopefully. I hope we're reaching the younger audience.
Our few viewers, too. No, he's like going through
There's a 12-year-old Tourette's guy. That sounds hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, if you're 12, you're going to fucking love it. But
yeah, but comedy just doesn't hold. So, like, I had a guy that used to work for me, and he showed me this thing on YouTube. I guess it's called Meat Canyon. It's a channel on YouTube. It's so, like...
Meat Canyon?
Meat Canyon. He does, like, cartoon parodies, but they're really dark humor, but, like, he's telling me how hilarious it is, and I'm watching, I'm like, it's not funny, though. At least not to me. Like, so I guess comedy's changing, because he's very popular, apparently, but, like, I'm watching it, and he's, like, laughing his ass off, and I'm like, but it's not funny.
I'll have to look that up, Meat Canyon.
There's one that's kind of funny. It's a Bugs Bunny parody, but it's only funny.
Is that the Bugs Bunny one? Ouch, rabbit. That's the guy who makes that?
Yeah.
Meat Canyon?
Yeah.
That one's hilarious.
That one's funny, but the
Ouch,
rest
rabbit,
of them...
you're hurting me. Yeah, it stings. Nice and good.
See, that's funny.
That was hilarious, but they cut that down and like people made it into a meme and it was funny.
Yeah.
But like it's a longer video than that, and it is fucking creepy.
But even the ending isn't funny. Like, it's funny in spite of itself.
Right.
There's a couple of lines that are funny, but the video as a whole is, to me, it's not very funny.
No, the video reminds me of old Ren and Stimpy. I don't care what anyone says.
Not funny.
I didn't care for Ren and Stimpy. It was fucking
I didn't either.
Gross.
I did not like Ren and Stimpy.
Like, a lot of people liked it, and I was like, yeah, I like Beavis and Butthead. I was like, even though
Beavis
they cut off their fingers and blood was flying out and shit like that.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead was much better.
It was just executed differently. And
well, you know, another show that I didn't appreciate till I was older was King of the Hill.
Oh, that's a fantastic show.
I didn't find it funny when I was younger, but now if I watch it, I'm just like, damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. No. Damn it, Biden.
Damn it, Biden.
So, I mean, what do you think? How do you think Biden is going to react to all this?
I think he's doing the right thing.
Shut up.
Who, Biden?
Yeah.
No,
I haven't seen anything on him yet.
He did a speech that was pretty good, and I will give him major points for this. He came out and he said, "This is not a representation of America as a whole. This is a small group of people that do not speak for the country."
Yeah, and they need to be specifically talking for the only people that went in and fucking trash.
And he
shit.
did. He did a very. I thought his speech was perfectly fine, acceptable, even downright good, because he's not shitting on people that voted for Trump. He's not even shitting on these people. He's just saying it's like, you need to stop this because this is an affront to democracy.
He should thank whoever wrote that for him.
Yeah, I know, right?
You've seen him when he tries to.
Yeah.
When he tries to
speech,
go, off the seat of his pants.
That speech writes itself, though.
I know it's not that hard. Just like, listen, Americans.
You just need
don't do that.
You just need to get Dave Cooley up there. Cut it out.
Son of a bitch.
Canada tells you to cut it out. Canada doesn't know what to think. So I have some friends in Canada.
Canada's got their own problems.
Yeah, but Canada, I have some friends in Canada, and a couple of them, like, one of them texted me today, and she was like, "What the hell is going on?" I'm like, "I don't know." Actually, I was like, oh, "I'm livid."
Aren't they running out of money horribly too?
Oh yeah, but they've been.
I know, and everyone's it's like, oh, free. I'm like,
I'm
free,
so
free
proud of my Canadian friends though, because they're turning into libertarians. Because like when they first started lockdowns, they were all like, "Well, you should stay inside, eh? Be safe." And now they're like, "We want our jobs back, eh? Stop telling us what to do." And I'm like,
yeah,
finally,
like,
thank you.
You guys don't have complete freedom there. Like it's
they'd be the first to admit it. Well, like, and again, my business partner's Canadian. He's even like, because I talked about the Confederate battle.
Is he dual citizenship or?
No, he's a resident alien. He's got a green card.
Okay. Do you have to get up citizenship when you move here from there?
No.
I didn't know. Some countries you do.
But what now?
Some countries you have to give up your citizenship to their country.
Very few.
Very few. I said some. But
Canada wants you to keep your dual citizenship. They're totally fine.
They want you to come back, eh?
Well, Canada needs people apparently. Like they want people to immigrate and have.
If they didn't do bullshit, it's like, man, it's a nice place to live because Canada's beautiful.
Well, the problem with Canada is a lot of it's inhabitable. A lot of the land, like a lot of it is, or I shouldn't say inhabitable, but it's uninhabited.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, it's a lot of
it is inhabitable though.
A lot of forest areas, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I mean by uninhabitable. And then plus, the further north you go, they call it winter peg for a reason.
Send in Joe Rogan, man. He'll clean them out of their. I don't even know if there's elk there, but he'll find.
Oh, there's elk there.
He'll find elk, and he'll clean them out, and he'll eat them all.
the Joe Rogan elk.
He only had diarrhea for one day this time on his meat.
I saw that post.
He's like, I only had diarrhea.
That elk steak looked amazing.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, dude, I've never had elk, and I kind of want to try it.
So it's funny. Everybody who jokes about Joe Rogan and elk meat, I'm just kind of there like, but I mean, I kind of want to try it. Oh
yeah, of course. I'll joke about it all day long, but it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, I need to get me a Traeger smoker and give me some elk.
Grill. I love they turned a segment of his podcast into an ad
grill
for
and
Traeger.
It's a smoker.
I think it is it's a pellet grill.
I know, but I always just like when I'm talking about a grill, I'm talking about flame.
Well, I mean it's a flame. It's just pellets.
It's a very small flame. Actually, it's not. It's just you heat. I don't know. Smoker, and then you heat up the pellets, or you catch the pellets on fire, and then there's smoking.
It's much more efficient.
I don't fucking know.
Helps with the flavor too.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know that much about it, but I just found it
like
funny.
You know more than me.
The only reason I know is because they turned a segment of his podcast where he's talking about his Traeger and they turned it into an ad.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So now it's a YouTube ad.
I wonder if he's sponsored by Traeger.
He is.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing I like about Joe is he's very upfront when they're sponsoring, and he says he's like, they sponsor the show, but I love my Traeger.
Oh yeah. It's like if you have a good product and you're sponsored by them.
I have zero problem with sponsorships, but everybody that I watch, if they have a sponsorship, they use the product, and B, they like the product.
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious. Like there's you might have seen him. There's a channel that's called Entrepreneurs in Cars.
Mm-mm.
I highly recommend it. It's a very good channel, but he's an interesting guy. And like kind of like the How to Beast guy, I didn't like him at all when I first saw him, but then I kept because stuff comes to my feed and I'm bored and I'm working, I just want something to listen to, and then it starts I actually start thinking about what they're saying, and I'm like, oh okay, well you got something there. But I think the only sponsor he has is tactical soap company, and I want to try this shit.
Tactical soap.
Yeah, it's handmade soap made right in the U.S. of A.
It's tactical.
It's the name. It's called. He was
That's
actually
awesome.
I guess he was inspired by Fight Club.
Is it like a bath bomb?
No, no, it's straight up bar soap. But like one of like because they have names, they have Bond, Maverick, and then the dude from Fight Club whose name is escaping me right now. Are the scents.
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember either.
Oh shit! What is
But
his
like I
name?
really want to try this.
You're talking about Brad Pitt, his character, right?
Yeah, but his character name.
Oh shit! It was just like one name.
Yeah, I know. Can't remember. Somebody help us. We need you, internet machine.
I don't have Google. I took Google out of the garage. I want to know his name.
So yeah, anyway, back to the protests.
Shoot away.
I'm trying to remember where I was.
I forgot where it was, eh?
I forgot where it was. Oh, but like we already said, Congress reconvened and they're gonna get the vote through. And
Joe Biden wins, and then fucking the Senate
Joe wins.
The Senate goes to Democrats, and then they are just gonna have a field day with pushing through whatever they want. They're gonna pass that Green New Deal. They're gonna run.
They're not gonna pass a Green New Deal.
You don't think so?
No. Well, maybe provisions of it.
Well, it's not the Green New Deal, according to Joe Biden.
The Biden plan.
It's the Biden New Deal. No,
the Biden plan, a.k.a. the Green New Deal.
I know, right? It was everything the same.
Not everything, but it was quite a bit.
Talking about retrofitting and stuff, and I'm like, look, dude, you know what? If it gets me a freaking brand new car or something like that, and then does the shit, hey, guess what? Run your country into the ground.
Well, but
I'll drive my happy little ass into the sunset.
Here's the thing, and you can actually. There was a fascinating video on this, and I forget the channel. Otherwise, I would mention it. But so basically, the United States has an infrastructure problem. But the question is, do we repair the existing infrastructure or do we create new infrastructure? So there is
Tyler Durden.
Durden, that's what it was.
Durden. All right, sorry.
That's the name of the scent. But so there is a question, and time is kind of the essence. Is okay? Do we upkeep the current grid system or do we completely redo it?
Well, I mean, over time, it's smart, but suddenly it's very expensive.
Well, but the problem is we don't really have the option of doing it slow because we let our current infrastructure get so bad. Like there are places where we're talking less than 5 years. They're going to need to either completely retrofit a power plant or build a new one in some places. Like it's that bad.
Because they're just inefficient.
It's just old.
Running out.
It's old. Like it's breaking down.
I don't know anything.
Part of the reason California has so many wildfires, like granted the climate's part of it, but a big reason is their infrastructure shit.
Forest management.
Well, that's a combination of that, forest management, but then you got power lines that are like I think in some cases they're 15 years past their service dates, like when they're supposed to be replaced. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh shit, yeah. And then with the brush that
you've got old ass transformers that are exploding and sparking, and couple that with a drought and poor forest management, and
well, and that's the thing though. Like forests can like handle droughts, but like what we're talking about, but they need management.
Forests are supposed to be able. So most species of tree can handle very high temperatures, but once they get past a certain temperature, then they catch on fire. And it's kind of nature's way of keeping. And a lot of you can look this up. Like this is it's not common knowledge, but it's easy to find. Forest management and all throughout Europe do controlled burns all the time, and there are videos of it. And you'll see it. They'll light the shit on fire, and it just It goes right past the trees, just completely. It's actually really cool to watch.
Yeah, because the thing is, that would be forest management. They get the shit away from the trees and just let it do its thing.
Well, but it was that damn bear.
Fucking bear. Smokey.
Well, no, literally, like Smokey the Bear has a lot to do with it because small forest fires are not only not bad, like they're very good. Small forest fires, because they burn away all that dead wood and brush and does very minimal damage and renitrates the soil so new plants can actually grow better. Like it's a good thing. The problem is when it happens now, there's so much of that brush and dead wood and dead trees and all that that the fires can reach temperatures to where it starts catching live trees on fire, and that's when you have a problem. That's when you can't stop it.
No, that's I don't understand why people just don't use common sense.
Well, it's not really common sense though, because your first instinct is, oh, fire in a forest, bad.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is though, like they should have been on it or
Yeah,
before
they should
fires.
have. They should have been on it.
I mean, it's a fucking oasis there. Like California is like
It's a fake
California
oasis,
has
though.
everything though. If they would just get some proper people in charge.
But here's the other thing that nobody seems to talk about. California's a desert for the most part.
Not Northern California.
Well, no, not Northern California, but that's
hell, you got mountains and shit. You know.
Yeah,
You
I
can
know,
go
but okay,
snowboarding.
so I'm talking about L.A.
Oh yeah.
Well, they literally diverted.
They built a city in a trash hole.
Well, they built a city in a desert,
And
and
charge
they
everyone.
they redirected the Colorado River to Los Angeles. So that's why it is the way it is. They literally diverted a natural river to make an aquifer there.
The L.A. River?
No, the Colorado River.
No, I know.
They diverted it.
So, yeah, I was gonna say every time I think of river, I think of the L.A. River and just how nasty that thing is. Like, there was some kids skateboarding over it, and there's like so much
Oh,
everything in that. Like, I mean, you walk in there, you're probably gonna walk out with a third eye or something.
So we
Not cool like
there's
Ken.
there's a flooring contractor that we know, and
Oh, that felt good.
I forget my business partner was texting him. He's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, we're just fishing." You know, he said we were eating fish. And he's like, "Oh, where'd you get it?" And he was like, "Oh, got it out of the White River." And I just went, "What?" I was like, "You're gonna get cancer tonight." He was like, "No, you just cook it." And I'm like, "I don't think it'll cook away the condoms
They eat everything.
or the needles."
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was like, "Don't eat the ones with 3 eyes."
I remember growing up, our the creek, you know, Shady Creek, the creek near our homes. I'm not gonna say what kind of homes, but I used to catch fish out there, and people was like, "Oh, you going?" You know, like what the fuck?
No, we catch and release.
I was like, I got fish sticks at home.
First of all, they're this big. Except I still maintain, and nobody saw it but me. I saw those 4 because I went out there by myself, and nobody believes me. But god damn it, I saw them.
Oh, the one that came back to life?
No, you were there for that. No, I saw 4 big motherfuckers like that. They were jet black with red tips on the
Yeah.
fins.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, you weren't there.
No, okay. I'm sorry. I remember seeing. Oh, I don't know about that description, but I remember seeing some big ass fish in that.
That's true. There were some big
Well,
ones.
because there was some deep areas in that river.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
like I swam in that river quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Fell
not.
into it too.
Oh, that was funny.
Remember Sean slipped on because we had what we had was our fishing spot was there was a big log that it touched the shoreline on the other side, but we came from the other side, so we had to. It was too big to jump in one, but there just so happened to be a concrete. I think we put it there, didn't we? There was a concrete
No,
block
I don't think
or
we
something.
put it there. I think it was just there. Like,
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it fell down or
Well,
something.
somebody
It came from
probably
somewhere.
put it there, but anyway, we would have to jump from there to there. Sean jumped off the log and slipped
Oh yeah.
on the block.
No agility. No agility.
Right
no,
in the creek.
No nothing whatsoever. Like we were very like.
The trick was to not stop,
Yeah.
and that's what he did was he stopped.
You can't think about it. You just gotta keep going.
Well, you got to go 1 foot after the other.
We were ninja warriors as kids, man.
Well, yeah. Then we got
Because
old.
we left. Shit, I can still go out and do it. We
I'd still do it, but
we left Scotty out in the middle of
yeah, we
remember
did.
that because he was screaming, and we just was like, if you're not gonna get up on the log and walk, I mean, we're just gonna leave you, and we left.
Yeah, we did.
And I don't even remember him getting home. I think I remember him saying he ended up falling in the river and then just
Yeah,
got
he
out of the
did.
river and walked home.
Yeah, he did.
And it was in the middle of winter.
Oh, speaking of middle winter, we did some really stupid shit because we were exploring that area that we hadn't been to before, and my foot went through the ice, and it was so cold, but we didn't stop. We just kept going.
Oh yeah, we were ruffians.
Yeah, and then we heard gunshots. I think somebody saw us.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
remember
damn,
that.
kids.
Did I ever take you back to the abandoned cemetery we found back there?
Yes,
That was creepy.
that was. It was
Remember
very
the
creepy.
hole that you could crawl through? Did I show you that?
Yep.
Yeah, and like that fucking scared the shit out of me, but I still did it every time, like crawling through that bitch.
Why not?
It was literally through the cemetery and then went out on the other side of the bank of the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, there was like a little thing you could walk down and go to the river, but yeah, it was creepy.
Very creepy.
Do we have anything else on that?
No, we're gonna
Good stopping point.
No, we're gonna keep talking a little bit more because I know there's, and I want to talk a little bit about the Senate. But so, I was about to make a prediction, then we got super sidetracked. I don't think you're gonna see too much more out of the radical Trump camp after this. I think that was pretty well the nail in the coffin. Trump's still probably gonna talk, although at this point, I kind of hope they take him out in cuffs.
Trump?
Yeah.
Why?
Because like that.
He didn't do anything.
Yes, he did.
He did not do anything physically.
No, not physically, but again, he also didn't shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, you did have Nancy Pelosi during the beginning of a pandemic, saying, come on down to Chinatown. I mean, that's kind of dangerous, too.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't condone bad behavior, but I also want people to remember what people did. It's not do as I say.
Yeah.
It's do it.
Well, don't let them forget. That's for sure.
Don't forget. But the thing is, if you're going to condemn someone for something, you got to condemn other people.
And that's
for
why I
other stuff.
condemn both of them.
See.
But here's the difference. Pelosi was just dumb
Yeah.
and trying to pander. Trump, and again, I'm not saying.
I don't think he meant for it to go the way he did. But the thing is, at the end of the day, what the fuck were you going to do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Sit your ass
and
down.
I wouldn't even go so far as I don't think he meant for them to break into the Capitol building, but I think he did intend for them to stir up some shit.
Oh, he's being. The thing is, like, I don't hate Trump. I don't dislike him at all. But the thing is, like, he's being a fucking sore loser right now.
Yeah.
And when he said that about Mike Pence about what did he say? He didn't have the.
He didn't have.
He
the
basically
courage
said
to,
he didn't have the courage. Yeah, he didn't have the courage, and I'm like, dude, fucking seriously, this guy's
It's not
backed
about
you on
courage.
everything.
It's not about courage.
legality, you fucking idiot.
It's not about courage. It's about a lost cause and recognizing when you see
I
it.
saw that, and I just lost a lot of respect for him.
Okay, so here I remember the
Not
point.
that I had much for him anyway, but
I was going to remember the point I was going to make. So the Republican Party, this did, I would say, irreversible damage to the Republican Party. They are going to have to toe the line for 2 straight years.
yes, I'm picking my nose if anyone's watching.
Yeah. Free country, damn it.
Someone came in and they came right back out, so I was picking my nose.
He's like, I love Trump.
I married my sister.
Speaking of Little Nicky, I'll pick me a winner.
Anyway, so back to your thing.
And that's and Ted Cruz, like, good job. You're never going to run for president ever again. Or you're certainly not going to get a nomination because he was sitting there all the while. It's like, dude, let it go. And second of all, the beard, you still have a penis for a chin. I'm sorry. Now it just looks hairy.
I didn't hate Ted Cruz through all this. Maybe I like I said, I haven't seen anything he said about the riots right now.
I've never really liked Ted Cruz, and the reason being is because he does this fake tough guy thing that I find really annoying.
Yeah, he's soft.
That's what I mean. He's soft, and he's obviously soft.
He's soft as medicated cock.
Unmedicated.
No, medicated because some medications make cock soft, like depression.
Some medications make it hard.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Viagra was a mistake, by the way.
Blue Pill has sponsored this video. Blue Chew, not Blue Pill.
You don't need to pay full pharmaceutical prices if you have problems.
No! You get it right here behind this building. $5.
$5.
This, I don't care. It's China. It's not racist. Actually, it is, but I'm just saying. Bastards.
No, we make fun of everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They'll own the country soon.
If the Republicans have any hope in, and I think they can if they toe the line. And it was funny. I said today, I said, wow, just when I thought the Republicans had stopped, like, we're done shooting themselves in the foot. Because, boy, they were great at it.
They pulled out their extra 6-piece.
Boy, oh, man.
Blew off all
They
5
shot
toes.
themselves in the foot and go, wait, I'm not done. That looked like a gesture. I should have gone.
I had hope
done.
for them.
I had hope for them, too. Well, and the thing of it is they had an opportunity to really save face today, and most of them failed miserably. I don't think anybody particularly succeeded.
Right.
Most of them failed miserably, Ted Cruz among them.
I'll tell you what right now, Republicans, if they're whoever's left
You need to
any
cut
form of government.
yourself loose.
Well, what I'm, oh my god, I can't talk. What I'm thinking they should do is, like, if they didn't trust in the mail-in ballots and whatnot, is get to work.
Yeah,
Get
that's
to
what.
work.
And again, that's what
They should have been doing that all along when they enacted that shit.
So
They said it was okay in some places.
So when Biden won, literally what the party should have done as a whole has been like, okay, we have to concern ourselves with the runoffs, which many did, but we need to think, and the Republicans have become very bad at this. Now, don't get me wrong, the Democrats suck at this too. None of them think long term, and it's frustrating because it's like, okay, you lost the presidential election. First thing you should do, okay, why did we lose? Most of it's Trump. Okay, so we know ditch Trump because he's bad news. Like, and it doesn't matter if you like Trump or you dislike Trump. From the standpoint of the party, he is persona non grata. He's too divisive.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
I'm just saying though.
I'm not
the way everyone
necessarily
spins
saying
it though, man.
I'm not saying necessarily that it's his fault, which it is to a point, but most of it's the media.
He does not help himself.
That's the big thing, is he doesn't help
himself.
himself.
Shut the fuck, not you, but him. Just like shut the fuck up for once, and just like literally, all he would have to do is just shut up. And if the media had nothing to say, all they would do is just keep bantering, and people would see, like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, really?
There's sometimes
help yourself, dude.
A lot of times, less is more. The less you say, the more your opponent can say. And eventually, the more someone talks, the more likely they're going to put their foot in their mouth.
Oh, I think he's going to run again in 2024, guaranteed.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they just flat out told him no.
How?
They'd find a way.
Yeah, I mean, you got to come up with a new law. There's nothing that says he can't.
Oh, he can run, but that doesn't mean he's going to win.
Well, I mean, he won in 2016 when no one said he would win.
That's a little bit different though, because he was an unknown. Yeah. A little bit of an unknown. Now he's very much a known.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, like, I will say though, some of the stuff he did, especially with like the peace agreements in the Middle East.
That's the shame. There was
how many peace agreements? 4?
2.
There's like 4.
2 that were done.
Oh,
there were 4 in the works.
Right. Okay.
But there were so many policy things that he did that I absolutely loved, and all that shit's gonna go bye real quick.
Yeah, especially all the tax cuts.
I don't. Well, I mean, they are gonna go away.
I mean, did you hear about Georgia?
Yeah. Yeah,
the average family there is going to lose $3,500. Like, from what I read. I don't know if that's true.
Well, and I take all that stuff with a grain of salt, too.
Exactly.
Because, for a bunch of people that do math for a living, they sure suck at it.
Well, it's because the thing is, they're just like, oh, this is what's going to happen, and they do one scenario. And it's like, dude.
Yeah, and it's always the ideal scenario.
Billions of outcomes.
So, I guess the good thing going forward is, like I said, after the first stimulus, I knew there's going to be a massive tax hike. The good news is, since Biden's in office, it's probably going to come mostly from... I think what they're going to do is mostly tax... I think they were talking about taxing mostly people that make over $200,000. And so, I don't owe anyone in particular an apology, but I recently learned how our progressive tax code works, and it's not quite as bad as people make it sound. There's a great channel on YouTube called 2 Cents, and they go through the American tax system. So basically, like, and again, I don't know if this is the case. I think the top tax bracket is 70%, but that's like way over. That's like over 10 million.
But 70% taxed?
Income tax. No, I'm wrong. They used that as an example though, but let's say for shits and giggles.
That's insane.
Well, but here's the thing. You're not paying 70% on all 10 million. So let's say you made $10 million $1 in a year, and you're in the top 70% tax bracket. But let's say that tax bracket starts at 10 million.
So 10 million one, you pay 70%.
On the after you pay 70% on the $1.
But still, like, I still don't like that.
Well, it's
I know
not
it doesn't
as
sound.
bad.
I know it doesn't sound bad, but the thing is, like, what we both have said and both agreed with. The
flat
problem
tax,
is not taxing; it's spending.
It's spending. Well, and not only that, a flat tax is more fair. However,
libertarian stance, it's more fair.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And once I kind of learned that, I was like, okay, well, let's be real here. because I think the top tax bracket is, I can't remember now. I want to say it's 35. I could be wrong. But like if you're paying 35%, and again, I'm pulling numbers out of my head. Like let's say that is $1 million. 35% is at $1 million. So everything you make over $1 million is taxed at 35%, but you still had $1 million that was taxed at less than that. Like it's not as bad as you're making it sound.
Well,
I swear I'm not becoming
if they
a liberal.
made like $10,500,000, and that $500 was taxed at 70%, then they'd be like, okay, I don't care.
Well, but that's what it is.
But say they make $50 million, and their $10 million was taxed at that, and then $40 million was taxed at 70%. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, but it's not 70%, thankfully.
Well, it's not. What is
No,
it?
I think the top tax bracket is 35.
Oh,
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
you're talking about his progressive tax that he's trying to implement.
No. Our current progressive tax. That our progressive tax system is like that right now. I think there's 7.
Oh, was the 70% just a?
That's just a number that they used for an example.
Gotcha. For some reason, my brain was.
Well, I think at one point in the 60s, the top marginal tax bracket was 70%, but it was like way up there.
Yeah, and 50s actually, 50s, 50s in almost into the 60s. I remember that because they hiked it up because of was it the war? Well, after the war.
I don't think that's why they did it.
During the war.
Well, I think they hiked it up mostly to pay for public works after the war.
Well, tax rates were really high during the Great Depression too, right? Was that right?
Well,
to help pay for the programs that they implemented.
I think that came shortly thereafter, but that's when it wasn't when the income tax started, but that's when it really became what it is today.
Right. I don't know enough about it.
Well, again, 2 Cents did a really good video on it. I highly recommend you watch it. They have a lot of good content.
I'll have to check them out. 2 Cents?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really good money content, and it's stuff that you don't really think about, but then you watch the video, you're like, oh, that's how that works.
Yeah.
It's like they did. Like, I even watched their mortgage one. They did one on mortgages, and I'm like, huh. I've had a few mortgages, and I'm like, shit, I didn't know that. Look out for that. I can't remember specifically, but like,
I might need
so
to
there. I forget the name of it, but there's
think
basically
about refinancing.
Well, no, I mean definitely refinance now.
Well, definitely. The only problem is I'm at 4.5.
Oh, dude, you know what mine got locked in at?
What?
3.125.
Dude, that would save me almost $200 a month.
Dude, refinance immediately.
Problem is, I'd like to roll some credit card debt in there, and I don't know if they'll go for that.
Probably not.
It would put my credit score way back over 800, but.
Well, yeah, but why don't you just we can talk about this off camera.
After. We don't need to know about my money issues.
Well, I don't think you have money issues. I just think you have a question of, do I do option A or option B?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, dude, refinance.
Thinking about it. Well,
my realtor told me that he actually
wanting to sell, but
Yeah, but you have to find.
Well, I need
find a new one first.
New job, so.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's not wood. Well, yeah. So anyway, Republicans have done the Trump rioters have done irreversible damage to the Republic. Not irreversible, but almost irreversible damage. And they're going to be cleaning this up for at least the next 2 years until the midterm elections. And the party as a whole has to renounce Trump. But even then, you're talking, it's going to almost take an apology tour. But at the same time, they have to stand in opposition. So they're in a real no-win situation here, because they have to distance themselves from Trump, but at the same time, they have to stand in opposition to the Democrats, or else they're just going to pass whatever nonsense they want through there. The Republicans have to, and they're going to, and they're going to do it in the least intelligent way possible. They're going to throw up roadblock just because it's coming from the Democrats, not just because it's a bad idea, because this is what they always do. I.e., protesting an election that they cannot change. And you still got Ted fucking Cruz up there. This is immoral. That sounds nothing like Ted Cruz. I'm off with the impressions tonight. This is immoral.
This is immoral.
This is immoral. Well, and again, he tries to do his big boy voice, but it sounds like kind of weenie.
He does, especially for someone coming from Texas.
I don't think is he originally from Texas?
I think so.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure
he must be from the soft part of Texas.
Yeah, he's from the soft-ass Texas part. San Antonio. Actually, I don't know if San Antonio.
Yeah, I don't know. Where is the soft? Anybody from Texas, let us know where the soft part is.
Well, my buddy who commented earlier, he lives in Texas. So
Where's the soft part?
I don't think he's watching right now.
He can comment later.
Yeah. Yeah. Where is that? Where Joe Rogan moved to?
Actually, yeah, I think it might be Austin. I think Austin might have become the soft part of Texas just because everybody from California is moving to Austin.
And that's the thing, if they like what they're going to, don't try to change it.
And they are.
Even Joe said that. He even said that. He goes, if you're gonna come here to try to change it, stay the fuck where you are.
Yeah. Yep.
But he says he said the stuff that you're dealing with there, you're gonna bring it here. We don't want that shit.
California is going to become an even bigger shit show.
Man, dude.
Well, because everybody who's got money and is rational is leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that going to leave you with?
And they're taking companies, they're taking jobs. Elon Musk.
Yeah. Elon Musk, and he fought to try to keep it in California.
Mm-hmm. He tried. He tried because he's like, I love this place, and then he's like, fuck you, then.
Well, and Shapiro left, and Joe left.
Yeah,
small company.
He
but
kept his. Still has his office there.
Yeah, but he's gonna move that too. Who has his office? Joe.
Yeah, he said he's gonna keep it there. He said he's gonna keep the original their area there.
Oh well, probably. First of all, he had a sweet setup there.
Well, because he says that he goes, I'm gonna keep it because the thing is, he goes, if shit changes, I might go back.
Valid point.
And nothing wrong with that, But the thing is, he's like, I love Texas.
What's the other really big company that's moving? I cannot remember for the life of me. It's a tech firm. Or Google.
That's surprising.
Was it Google?
No way.
Or was it Apple?
Might be Apple.
I think it was Apple. I don't think they were moving to Texas. I can't remember.
Listen, Apple is not completely evil. They are actually fighting for privacy on your cell phones.
Yep.
Apple's the only one. Everyone else is one that completely.
Apple got a really bad rap, and this was a couple years ago. But Apple got a really bad rap because they were basically asked to disclose user information, and they told the government to fuck off. And I applauded them for that.
Because if Steve Jobs were alive, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't alive when that happened. Right?
No, that was after he had died.
Yeah, so it's like. Whoever's in charge.
Apple basically told them, they said, yep, we're happy to do it if you have a warrant. Until then, you can go fuck yourself.
What this man? That's what I'm saying. It's like too much power is scary.
Well, but and going back, anybody that thinks Trump had too much power, you're right.
Look at what's happening right now. But
the president has too much power.
I mean, yeah, but
haven't you seen?
He wasn't
Star
able to
Wars?
get shit done. He wasn't able to get anything done. Because he didn't have enough power to push things through.
Yeah, but I mean, he got a lot accomplished through executive order. But again, have you not seen Star Wars? Or better yet, it's not like this hasn't happened before. It's happened every time. Right before you get a tyrant, you give them emergency powers every single time. Caesar, Hitler, Mussolini.
Yeah, actually, people were talking about.
Different.
I don't know if I don't foresee Trump doing it, but like calling martial law somehow.
No. So the great thing about the U.S. military is it has decentralized command. So, and actually, this is such a nerd moment right here, but you've seen Saving Private Ryan, right? You've never seen Saving Private Ryan?
Nope.
Oh, dude, we're gonna.
I saw the porno version. Saving Ryan's Privates.
Oh, dude, it's an amazing movie. If for nothing else, the D-Day scene in the beginning is probably, I think to this day it's still considered the most accurate war reenactment ever on film.
Oh wow.
There's so many subtle things that flies over most people's heads, and rightfully so because they wouldn't know. But there's a great scene that kind of illustrates perfectly that decentralized command structure. So Tom Hanks is hiding behind one of the beach obstacles, and a guy comes up behind him and he's like, "You need to move. I'm supposed to blow this obstacle." Tom Hanks' character is a captain and outranks this dude, but he doesn't answer to Hanks because he has his own command structure, and he's like, "You gotta go. I'm blowing this thing." Like, telling an officer with a higher rank that he needs to get the fuck out because he's got to do his job.
I don't see a
And
problem
that's
with that.
and that's the good part about decentralized command, because if you've got one bad officer who can fuck up a whole operation because he doesn't want to move from a spot.
Ah, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
So and
Yeah, so that martial law doesn't really do anything for them then.
well, it does and it doesn't. It kind of depends on the situation. But what I'm saying is
I don't know
Trump.
if it would help.
Well, Trump can declare martial law, but all the military brass has to do is be like, yeah, we're not going to do that.
I mean,
You
would hope they wouldn't.
It's really difficult to declare martial law in the United States. It's easy to do overseas, but basically you just have a military commander who says, okay, we're occupying this space now. We're under martial law because I'm the fucking head honcho
What if they deem this pandemic, as in
well,
people aren't going with this, and then they have to declare martial law to I don't know.
Well, fortunately here you have that little thing called state sovereignty.
Oh, okay.
Which is and it was designed this way, because you got to remember one of the first.
Thank your fucking forefathers.
Yeah, because one of the amendments of the Bill of Rights, I want to say
they saw this shit coming from hundreds of years ago, and they wrote up one of the greatest documents ever and figured this out.
I'm trying to remember which amendment it was, but it's in the Bill of Rights, basically saying that you can't, the state can't make you. Oh, Third Amendment. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. So even there, because that happened when the British had soldiers in the colonies, they'd basically show up to your house and be like, the crown orders you to house and feed me. And you had to. Otherwise you'd be arrested and punished and all that good stuff.
Punished, killed.
Well, no, probably not killed. See, that's the other, and that's kind of the shame.
They don't want to kill their meal.
No, it's not even that. So here's what a lot of people don't understand about the revolution. We take credit for beating the world's greatest army, but first of all, we engaged a fraction of the British military. Like, it was not even close to their full might, and we had a lot of help from the French.
And they just basically were like, fuck it, you want that piece of shit, have it.
Essentially, it was very unpopular, and the goal was to, and again, there's this sense that the whole country was like, yeah, fuck Britain. Most of them were still loyal to the crown. Most people in the colonies were still very loyal to the crown and wanted these, shit starters to shut the hell up so we could get back to life in general.
I mean, that's just like Indiana. I mean, everyone was fucking all for Holcomb, and we're all over here going, fucking vote Rainwater. And these fucking retards still went with the same person.
Well, I wouldn't even go as far as to say they were retards, because, I mean,
they're just party voters, and I think that's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm talking about the Tories and the revolution.
I know, okay, yeah.
Well, and you got to remember, a lot of these people
I'm still salty about our election.
Well, but a lot of those people, like the crown had protected them during the French and Indian War. So a lot of them were kind of salty, be like, hey,
so they did this for us, and we're gonna turn our backs on them and do this.
A lot of them, yeah, like that's.
Yeah, what was the tax rate then that we were bitching over, and we seceded?
I think it was 3%.
Now look at us. I mean,
that's a common meme.
Just gonna say, it's kind of fucking crazy.
I love those memes where it's like 3% tax, fuck you, and now it's like 27% tax, okay.
Right, and it's like, okay, so.
And it wasn't even on income. It was on goods that you bought.
I would fucking kill for that. Like, damn, 3%. Let's go.
3%. I don't even drink tea. I don't give a shit.
That's what I don't get. I'm like, if people don't think it's a problem with spending, I'm like, look at everything they tax.
Yeah.
It's like, dog, if they can't afford to pay for government expenditure and, running things and, a few programs on what they already tax, I'm not talking to the extent that, I mean, hell, Biden was already talking about a wealth tax. And I'm like, you should not be charged for money you've already been charged for. If you've got money in the bank, you should.
Well, they already have a wealth tax. It's called capital gains, but
I don't know about it. I need to know.
Well, the problem with something like a wealth tax is
I even got an A in government.
Well, and this is what I'm talking about. How you don't plan long term. It's like if you tax wealth,
I'm not even in the shop.
Then you incentivize people to not become wealthy.
Yeah. Why am I going to try?
And when that happens,
work hard to be paid the same amount.
Well, you're not necessarily paid the same amount, but it is really
you know what I mean.
it is really kind of difficult to justify, working 70, 80 hours per week when you know that
You can work.
40% of it.
You can work 25.
Yeah,
Same.
and make the same.
Yeah, it's not fair.
No, it's not even close to fair, and I'm a big advocate of if you worked your ass off and you made something and you changed the world, you deserve to be wealthy. Now, what you do with that money is up to you, but most of the time when somebody has that kind of drive and ambition, they're much better stewards of that money than the government would be.
I just I know it's difficult for people, but the thing is, like, there should be some type of public input on what we spend on.
Theoretically there is, but the problem is we elect people and they're supposed to speak for us, but then they all agree to do this stupid shit. And sometimes their backs are against the wall, i.e. when it's about to be a government shutdown. It's like, okay, well, like, are you really gonna, like, you have to vote to raise the debt ceiling because otherwise the government's gonna shut down, and like, it's not their fault.
Right, like the omnibus bill.
Yeah, perfect example.
With, added stimulus in it.
Well, and I always say things like, well, if they hand me a bill that's 250 pages 15 minutes before we vote, I'm going to vote no. That's easier said than done.
Yeah. I mean, no, everyone likes to, give Pakistan $10 million for gender studies. I mean, it makes sense.
Oh my God, that was so stupid. You know what? I thought that was hyperbolic, and then I read it, and I'm like, oh my God,
it's real.
They actually, like...
But the thing is, at the end of the day, the omnibus bill, that $10 million, that was not included in the stimulus. That was included in the normal spending.
Yeah, I know, but I don't care where
it's coming from. I'm like,
spending.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's...
$10 million. I'm like, I know it's only like 7 cents per person if you split it up among 325 million Americans.
Maybe they...
But still, 7 cents.
Maybe they did that to Saudi Arabia. First, it's like, who knew they could drive? Look at that.
I didn't know you could drive.
You can now in Saudi Arabia if you're a woman.
Oh, well,
that's new.
Hey, they're finally moving up. It's 1940 over there.
Well,
and get me a beer, bitch. You have to submit.
Well, that's why I always get kind of uppity when the feminazis bitch about equality. Well, I don't even want to say feminist because I'm not necessarily opposed to like real feminism. Which I just call egalitarianism right now, but radical feminism is what I have an issue with. But they're bitching about that, but then they're saying things like,
I believe radical feminism is on its way out the door, but continue your thought.
Oh, I don't think so. Oh, well, I think in terms of actually shaping policy it is, but it's not going anywhere. Right. Well, and the funny thing is, and I'm going to get crucified for this one, radical feminism, and I'm talking long term here, has made the average... It's basically making American women, for the most part, the ones that ascribe to it, very unhappy. And I mean, this is trackable. You can look at the data on this.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at satisfaction with, and I'm not saying that women are happy barefoot in the kitchen and pregnant. I'm just saying that all this, basically what the radical feminism has been espousing for the longest time is not necessarily. And Jordan Peterson, there's a lot of people. Jordan Peterson does a great job. What's it? Rollo Tomasi, I think his name is, does another really good video on this. But the data's pretty clear. I don't know why we're talking about feminism. We're supposed to be talking about the riots. But yeah, so I mean that's my point. Is radical feminism has,
all this ties in together.
It really does, and that's the shame of it all. Is it does. So anyway, Republicans, irreversible damage. They're going to be in damage control for the next 2 years, and I still think you're going to see minimal gains. I think you will see some gains, as long as if the Biden camp doesn't do anything incredibly stupid, then you probably won't see that many gains on the Republican side in 2 years. But
that's if they don't do anything stupid. Just saying.
Well, they're about to do something really stupid because they want to extend more rent protection.
Oh my God, dude!
Renter protection.
I'm not.
It's stupid. It's so incredibly short-sighted.
I'm not gonna get into this completely, but my in-laws are renters.
Yeah.
Or they're not renters.
They're
I'm sorry, they're landlords.
landlords.
And they have a couple. They have been to court. This person, this is the stupid shit, but this person, their lease is up.
Mm-hmm.
Can't kick them out.
No, because
they're protected.
There's a little bit of confusion on what's going on there. So basically, what the protection is right now is you cannot evict them until the deadline of January 31st.
One issue, though. In their lease, it says the lease that's expired, but the lease that's expired says no pets. And they have a dog. And the judge will not hear them.
Well, I know, because they will literally not take it. However, so long as they don't extend the deadline on January 30 or February 1st, take them right to court. And if they haven't been paying rent, they still owe you that rent.
Oh yeah, it's blood out of a brick. It's impossible to get. Like, you can go.
Well, I know, but then you can
garnish
still
wages.
You can still evict them.
Yes.
Once the deadline.
Well, on top of that, like, not to get into their details very much, but like, they have other people living there too, and I'm like, why are these judges not hearing this? Like, because literally, it says in the bill, whatever, it says if there's reason to evict them, that's like several things. They can be evicted, and lease ending is one of them.
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's...
And it's like, I'm like, why aren't these judges listening to that? And they're like, oh, it's because the renter protection. I'm like, did you guys read into it, or are you just going off?
Well, no, it was my understanding, and I got this from a lawyer. Basically, like, they're not hearing eviction cases until after the deadline.
Right.
Now, it's not like that magically disappears. Which there's a lot of renters that think that they're gonna get off scot-free, and but here's the problem. So they're talking about
they're gonna get evicted so fast.
But they're talking about extending these renter protections and like putting them into law. And I'm like,
oh my word.
Well, here's the problem, and they're incredibly short-sighted. I can understand, in your heart you want to help these people, but first of all, most of the time it's their fault. Like, sometimes you have a bad run of luck. I get that. But again, as Ben Shapiro always says, you cannot take a case of one and base policy off of that. But here's the bigger problem.
I mean, they're getting stimulus money every now and then,
Well, but here's the bigger problem. So, because I'm going to be a landlord soon. However, I'm glad I don't have a tenant right now, because I'm going to pay attention to what's going on with this. And if they pass a bunch of stupid bills, I'm just going to turn it into an Airbnb and say, fuck being a landlord.
You should do that anyway.
Well, so I've been told. But anyway, so...
Where you're at, though, is going to be kind of hard for an Airbnb.
No, not really. I'm that close to the Speedway. I'd be all the time.
Think so?
Oh, yeah. I know people that have Airbnbs around that area. They make bank. But
my nose itches. I won't pick it.
But anyway, so... if it is not worth it financially to be a landlord, then you're going to have people not be landlords, which you're not going to have as many rental properties, which is going to lead to a housing crisis. And on top of that, they're talking about pardoning all nonviolent drug offenders. They got to live somewhere. It's like one foot's not talking to the other, and they're not thinking about. They're just hearing of an alleged victim group. It's like, oh, we're gonna protect you. Oh, and we're gonna protect you. But in doing this, you're fucking everyone. Because all these people are gonna get out of prison, and they're not gonna have a place to live. And with the housing, like, you can't even say, well, just buy a place, because there's no inventory. And building supplies are
through the roof.
Well, if you can get them at all. Building is like, it's taking so much longer. I've got customers that were supposed to be in their houses at the end of last year, and they're looking at April.
My buddy's actually building a house as we speak, and they were wanting to be done by December of 2020.
Yeah.
And like, they just broke ground not even like several months ago. And that's because, it was taking forever. The company was behind,
Yeah, well, everybody's behind. And the good news is people are learning this, and it's like, it is what it is. But... So I think you're going to see, at least in the next 2 years, you're going to see a lot of policies like this where they're going to unintentionally, if they put any thought into it at all, they would not do it, at least not yet. You're going to see a lot of things unintentionally cause fallout.
For the first 2 years... Biden, if he was smart, sit on your hands. Just take
Not
care.
sit
Just
on your
take care
hands,
of
but
take care of what's going on right now, and that's what I mean by sit on your hands. Take care of what's going on right now.
They
Help people
need-
out. Don't go with any crazy spending. We're already in a horrible deficit.
correct. They need to address the immediate threat, but they need to think about how they're doing it. I don't think another huge stimulus package is the way to go.
No.
I really don't.
Don't get me wrong. Am I going to say no to the check? Nope.
Well,
But
here's
the thing is, it's going to hurt more than it's going to help. I mean, in the long run.
Well, fortunately, people like you and me probably won't see that big of an impact, but the economy will. Oh, and then I guess one of his other first orders of business is raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour on top of renter protection and on top of allegedly pardoning nonviolent drug offenders.
So guess what that does?
That's going to tank...
Lay off people.
That's going to tank the housing market. It's going to tank the job
drive
market.
unemployment up.
It's going to drive unemployment up, and in the midst of a pandemic. But it's okay because they extended unemployment benefits, which is just going to raise that deficit up even more.
I never understood, like, all right, we had, at my job, we had people get laid off because they didn't have work.
Yep.
And they literally sat at home for 2 months and was able to save up $6,000.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? When I'm working throughout all this, and like, I have no problem with people getting extra help, but I'm like, $600 extra a week? That is fucking excessive.
Yeah.
Why? Because you have, like, doctors on furlough that, aren't getting paid, so, you got to kind of get close to their, because they'd only get like $400 a week. $390 is the max, I believe.
Not at that pay grade.
No, unemployment.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you make. Unemployment is $390 a week max.
Is that the ceiling? Well, that must be
yeah.
why
So
then,
yeah, and the thing is, so $1,000 a week. But
boy,
still,
you have to be a shitty doctor to be on furlough right now.
Well, you got to think. I mean, right now, yes, but like back when the pandemic started, and they were doctors were getting laid off left and right because they weren't doing elective surgeries and whatnot, and they weren't able to do anything. And then they're saying, well, we don't want to overdo the hospitals, and these doctors are like, I'm out of work.
Well,
what do you mean overdo?
Any of those doctors that had any sense should have been like, you don't want us gone right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, most of them, aren't equipped with the knowledge of viruses and whatnot. So it's kind of, I mean, they're kind of pointless.
True. Well, but I mean, they've gone.
It's like I cut titties open for a living and put fucking silicone in them.
Well, they got to know enough about infection.
I'm gonna call them a doctor because they make great things.
Well,
I like titties.
I don't like fake boobs.
I don't either. You know what kills me is the bottom of them.
Yeah,
like,
the big
when you see
incision.
them, you can see that part. And,
I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I'm a fan of au natural.
Natural's always better.
I agree. Even if they're a little on the small side.
Big, small, fake. Oh, look, I'm all.
What does Fez say on that 70s show? Fez like them big, Fez like them small, Fez like them all.
I love Fez.
I love Fez.
That's another underrated show. Well, it's not really underrated. Like, that was a huge hit. That 70s show, so good.
So good.
I've rewatched it a lot. I ever make it past the seasons where they like got rid of Eric and whatnot. But
Season 5 is kind of the peak, and then it starts to. Actually, I take that back. Season 3 is the peak, but it doesn't really start to plateau, and then it kind of plateaus until 5, and then it just goes.
Yeah, and then everybody starts dating each other, and then Donna's with Hyde, or I think Donna got with Hyde, maybe.
No, I don't.
I think Donna left the show.
No, Donna didn't leave the show.
She went to go do the Black is Orange, Orange is
Black.
Black.
Oh, no, that 70s show ended long before Orange is the New Black.
I can't remember.
No, Topher Grace left the show, and then we got Randy.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. He wasn't a bad character, but it was just like...
You know what? He was a victim of circumstance, because the character wasn't bad per se, but they just didn't need him. They needed Eric.
Yeah, it's like Eric was a staple. And
but that was Topher Grace being an asshole.
Yeah, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, when they got married again, they were kind of pissed that he didn't come to their wedding.
Yeah,
and he's just like, oh, I'm busy. And it's like, bitch, you ain't that busy.
You're not that busy.
You're not that busy after you fucking killed fucking Venom. And it took to bring it back. Which he did a fucking fantastic job.
I loved that.
Oh my god.
Well,
you'll be like a turd rolling in the wind. I love that part, man.
Yeah, but
he's like, on second thought, eats him.
I couldn't believe it when they were like, that dude's Eddie Brock.
Who? Topher?
Topher Grace. It's like
Yeah.
a pencil neck geek.
You know, the thing is, though, at first, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And I watched it for the first time, and I was like, yeah, that's an okay movie.
He had the attitude. He just didn't have the body to back it up.
No, and it's like, why wouldn't you, just, get a little buff? It's not that hard.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, though, Spider-Man's, buff in the comics and in the,
he's lean buff.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I don't know,
Topher Grace was, a little fucking chubby dude. He was not fat. He was skinny fat.
He had a square frame.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, he was built in the first movie. He was
you mean
very
Tobey
lean.
Maguire?
Did I say
Spider-Man?
Topher?
Yeah,
my bad. Yeah, but Tobey Maguire, he was very
that's
fit
because
for
he
the
had a
first one.
shirtless scene.
And then the third one, he was kind of chubby.
Yeah,
I was
a
like,
little
how
bit.
the hell are you getting away with being Spider-Man?
Man, do you remember his emo hair in Spider-Man?
Oh
3?
yeah, that's terrible.
He was like, I'm depressed and
I was like, emo, you look like fucking old boy from Green Day.
well, emo.
I mean, I wouldn't even call that emo.
Like, I'm depressed and dark. Even my costume is black.
I'm depressed politic music.
Oh god. So yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, you were making a point, and I interrupted you.
Totally lost it.
Totally
lost it. So I'm just depressed and sad. Mary Jane doesn't love me. I think I'm gonna cut myself and it's gonna heal quick.
I heard that they're going to
I lapsed into Bill Clinton for a second.
I heard that they're going to do a Spider-Verse with
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
I really liked what's his
loved
face?
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, he was great.
Everybody was shitting on him. That was not his fault. That movie, the
second one was terrible.
It was awful. The first one's amazing,
Yeah.
pun intended.
Yes.
First one's amazing. It's my favorite Spider-Man movie of all of them.
I do love the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire just because
it's good. Because
it was
I had some nerd issues with it though.
Well, yeah, with the web coming out of the
organic-
hand. Yeah, I was like, that's no. I was like,
dumb.
no.
It's
It's
like-
web shooters because you're not just gonna grow a fucking a web patch.
No, and if you do, it's gonna be on your ass.
Where it comes out of spiders.
It's gonna be right on the tailbone.
You might
Imagine.
swinging backwards. Ah!
They should do an anatomically correct Spider-Man who's like, and he's just flying through the city.
The
like
ambiguously gay Spider-Man.
this. Those cartoons were funny.
Amazing.
Couldn't do it today though.
You know, what was I watching?
Gay porn that you thought was lesbian porn?
No.
That's an inside joke.
Inside. No. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was. Fuck, I can't remember what it was. And I was like, man, they can't get away with this stuff today. Oh, it was Tourette's guy.
Well, Tropic Thunder
It was
is
like
another one.
Oh yeah, I know who I am.
God, that movie is so funny though, and anybody who's mad about it doesn't get the joke.
I'm sick. Like
Before the war, I was a saucier down in New Orleans.
I fucking wish we could just go back to not being offended.
That word. Don't
For
use that
400
word.
years.
That's the thief of the Jeffersons.
You ain't black.
Doesn't mean it's not true.
We're moving on. Up.
And then at the end, when he gets his wig ripped off, he's like, "Who am I?"
Robert Downey Jr. is such a great actor.
So funny.
I'm hoping for another Sherlock.
I didn't enjoy those.
What?
I didn't like them. I don't know, and I honestly can't tell you why. I just didn't care for them.
The second one, I was like, but the first one was gold.
So I do have a little bit of a bone to pick, and I'm probably gonna get some heat for this, but like Robert Downey Jr. I guess is a big Wing Chun guy. The martial art Wing Chun, and he incorporated it into the Sherlock Holmes character.
Oh.
That shit doesn't work.
Well, I mean, what else have I seen with Sherlock Holmes? And I feel like he knew some type of karate or something.
Boxing.
Was it boxing?
Well, which one? The Downey one or
I can't
another
remember.
one?
I think I've only ever seen the Downey one.
The Downey one incorporates a lot of his Wing Chun.
Oh God! Don't talk about Holmes and Watson. Did you attempt to try it?
No, I
Worst
called that
movie I've ever seen.
Well, it was just
I made it.
was
30
Step
minutes.
Brothers in the Victorian era.
It was horrible. The jokes were not funny.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It was
Step
Step
Brothers
Brothers
was
in
amazing.
but in the Victorian era, it doesn't. And you know what? Step Brothers is another movie that I don't really care for.
Oh,
I laugh at certain parts, but I never. I don't know. I probably need to rewatch it because I probably appreciate it more when I do always crack up in the scene where his mom is driving Will Ferrell and he's back in the car. He's like, I will pop that motherfucker.
I'm not gonna call him dad.
Yeah, that's what.
Not ever. Not even if there's a fire. Dude, like so many quotes came out of that movie. It's insane.
A much better movie is Daddy's Home, though. In my opinion.
Step Brothers better.
By
far. Daddy's Home is amazing. I love it.
Daddy's Home is one of a kind.
But
Daddy's Home 2. So, just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I see the trailer for Daddy's Home 2 and John Lithgow is in it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing
There's
is, like,
my big man!
Anytime I see John Lithgow, though, like, and, a lot of people, alive today haven't seen the movie I'm referencing, but 2001, and, John Lithgow in 2001 Space Odyssey. You've seen Space Odyssey, 2001, right?
That was John Lithgow, wasn't it?
Yeah, and completely different actor.
Oh, yeah.
But then, in the early 90s, was it the early 90s or early 2000s that Third Rock was on?
Late 90s, mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
It ended. Hold on, I'm getting this fucked up.
So 2001 was 78, I believe.
It started in 96.
I think.
And I think it ended in 2000 or 99.
Yeah, and so
No, it was more than that. 2002 because it had 6 seasons.
It's like John Lithgow though, man. He's
Third Rock from the Sun.
He's
is
a different,
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
and
an
I love it how
underrated
they like start out old and then de-age. I mean, if that's the correct term. But
yeah, I think we've devolved completely.
Hey, it's all right though. I think this was a very successful one.
So if you take anything away from this, watch Third Rock from the Sun. You'll thank us later.
Yeah, because guess
they
what?
do a great episode.
We're gonna be locked down again, so you're gonna have to just find something to do.
They do a great episode about politics when Harry runs for city council.
It's been free. It's been years.
So you just take the envelope. Well, what's in the envelope? It's like, well, I have to ask Dick. Who's Dick? He's kind of our leader. I want to see more women in the workplace. Yes.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that.
Oh god,
I just don't have the time. How many? There's probably not very many seasons, are there? Like
6.
There's
6 seasons. Yep.
Well, they're only like 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, 6 seasons, and they're about 20, 22 episodes per season. Back when they did it like real TV, not this 8-episode bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine if
That's what kills me about Cobra Kai.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm like, can you give me more than fucking 10 episodes?
I'll wait a few more months.
I will gladly wait a few more months to get like fucking 20.
Oh, dude, I don't think they have enough source material. That might be why we like it so much, though, is because they're not having 20 episodes. Then it'd be like Dragon Ball Z. Dude, like,
don't talk shit about Total.
15 minutes of Miguel and Robbie just staring at each other. And then at the very end of the episode, they go to hit each other, and then it just freezes like Rocky 3.
Dude, there's a meme, and it has the Dragon Ball Z music at the end of an episode. But it's like dogs. They're all staring at each other. Have you seen it? And they're all like,
no, but I can imagine.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so funny. They're all just standing there, and this one dog just like this, and all of a sudden he goes to attack, and it's like, and it just freezes right there, and he goes. Dude, it's fucking great.
That's hilarious.
I'll show it to you after we end.
Yeah, that's so funny. I think we need to.
This is a good spot. Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe, but then also just gonna drop some content. For those who don't know, I have relaunched my YouTube channel, Arete Media, youtube.com/Arete Media. That's spelled Rarete. Fuck that up. It's live.
It's spelled
Arete Media.
And we will link it in the description.
Yes, we will.
I've been saying I'm going to be linking all kinds of stuff in the description. I have not been doing so. We're going to get this one in the description.
Yep, and then also there's a playlist. Just in case you get lost somehow, there's a playlist on my channel with all the Average Intelligence podcast episodes. Link to it. Easy access for everything.
You know what? This is the end. No one's going to know what we're watching. Please don't copyright us, Bruce Falconer.
Oh my god!
Is that amazing?
That's so funny.
It's like whoever made that was a genius.
It's so accurate.
All right.
And on that note, peace, love, and
Stop rioting.
stop
Breaking into shit.
deflating. How the hell did the table get all the way over here? Look at our
I
camera.
don't know. We shifted this sucker. Just stop. Can't we all just get
I was
along?
like out of the picture like half time. I was like back there. No, I'm just kidding.
In the words of Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Words of Rosa Parks. No. Just kidding.
That's actually a good joke.